Namaskar. I am Amruta Gogate, a Kathak dancer based in Pune. I have been working in the field of Kathak for past 20 years. I would like to briefly talk about my journey in dance. I remember I started dancing very late. Late as in I was almost 13 years old. Usually the dance is started at a young age, maybe 7 years or 8 years old. But I remember dancing in my school days. I used to love dance, but nobody noticed that she should be taught it, and in some classical institute or so, because I have an academic background at home, academic and sports background. So I was into badminton and swimming, and I tried my hand at these things. But later, what happened is my younger sister, she also dances very well, and her teacher in school told my mom that you should really think of teaching her classical dancing. And so with my mom, I went to inquire about dance classes for my younger sister. And when I visited, we first inquired in a Bharatnatyam class, which apparently had been shut down due to some reasons. And then on the way back, we came across Shambhavi Tai's class. We didn't know anything about Kathak or any classical dance styles till then. This field was totally alien for my parents as well. And on our way back, we visited the class, and I really liked it. I saw my friends from my society dancing there. So I just asked Tai that, even I want to join class, and is it late for me, because I was already 13 years old then. But then Shambhavi Tai said, no, it's never late to start dancing, and you can join my classes. And that is how me and my sister actually started dancing. My initial memories are such that we both sisters are really sincere, hardworking, and we used to be really focused in class. And I remember learning indirectly as well from Shambhavi Tai. She used to teach other girls, but just by observing, we used to pick it up and then go at home and practice. And then once Shambhavi Tai was teaching us something, and I told her that, Tai, I know this already. Shambhavi Tai said, is it? Did you learn it? I said, no, we just learned it by observing. And Tai was like, yeah, you can demonstrate. And then I performed it, and I was in awe that I knew, all the Hastak series and 2-3 Todas already. So she was impressed, and then my journey started very fast from then. I remember that I don't remember attending many classical dance shows in that period when I was in 8th, 9th, 10th standard. But of course, I danced in Shambhavi Tai's annual shows, and I was in awe when I used to see her dancing. I have grown up seeing Manisha Tai and Shambhavi Tai's dance. She was my first inspiration and motivation. I didn't think about taking it up as a career or professionally, never thought of it. As usual, my parents were hesitant initially, but Shambhavi Tai thought that I have that talent and caliber, and I can take this up as a career. So she once came and she visited my place. She talked with my parents that it is okay, there are so many opportunities in this field as well, and she can be financially steady as well. Then they seriously started thinking about it. I actually started feeling or missing dance when I was in 12th standard. I was doing science, and as we all know, there are so many classes we have to attend. So there was a gap for 6 to 8 months. Till then, I never noticed that I would miss dance so much in life. And it was so severe that I started falling ill. And my parents were concerned at what is happening, and I was like, no, I want to go to the dance class. I want to dance. I used to love dancing. One positive thing what I remember is I used to pick up very fast. Something which you can easily grasp, it becomes your favorite. So that thing happened with me, that yes, I can do this. I'm good at this. And I realized in that break. And then I told my parents, no, I want to dance. they talked with Shambhavi Tai and she said that yes, she can do a degree in Lalit Kala Kendra, bachelor's and master's in Kathak. And still they were like, no, you should take some other degree and then you can go into dancing. But fortunately they agreed, and I scored well marks in 12th, but still I dropped science, didn't go to engineering and those fields, and then I admitted myself into Lalit Kala Kendra. That is when my journey started. What I remember is I was missing dance so much that the moment I finished my 12th exam, that day itself in the evening I was in class with Shambhavi Tai. And from that day I don't remember missing one single day. My dance classes used to be like morning 7 to night until I think late till 9 I used to be with Shambhavi Tai. Only to have food I used to go home or to sleep. So, and the first gift which I asked for from my parents after 12th was that give me a talmala, a tabla machine. I want that and I want to start dancing on that. So that is how I came into dance, and from then, yeah, Lalit Kala was really inspiring. The gurus who came there for lectures, that opened my mind, and looking at this field in a different way. That journey started from there. What I remember is I come from a Banaras Gharana tradition, and with Lucknow influences, because Nataraj Pandit Gopi Krishna ji, Manisha Tai's guru, he learnt both Banaras as well as Lucknow. But I think Shambhavi Tai has contributed a lot to this style, and when I started looking at it, I felt that, I mean, I had the influence of a typical classical background with classical choreography, you know, a typical way of choreographing it, you know, symmetrical formations and, you know, easy way of choreographing, I would say. But I think in my second year, Shambhavi Tai was learning from Talyogi Pandit Sureshji Talwalkar, the aesthetics of Lay Tal, and I used to go with her, accompany her, and at an early stage I started learning from him. I'm really fortunate that I used to go with Shambhavi Tai, and I think my music sensitivity towards music, Lay Tal, was it started from there. The journey started from there. The way Guruji taught the bandish, how to look at the aesthetic, I wouldn't say that I understood everything at that moment. Shambhavi Tai used to choreograph it, design. I wouldn't say choreograph. She used to design the bandish, and then we used to just learn and practice it. Learning the technique and exploring its limits was what we were doing in that period. So parallelly, I would say that Shambhavi Tai's tradition, Manisha Tai, Shambhavi Tai's tradition, as well as Lay Tal and music tradition from Guruji, this is what I started doing in my initial bachelor and master years. While doing MA, I remember we had the topic choreography, and we had the opportunity, only I think our batch had that opportunity to go visit Kadamb of Kumudini Lakhia ji, and we stayed there for 10 days to learn about choreography from her. She is the maestro in choreography, and I have been watching her videos, seen her work, but I was really young, and the thing what Kumudini Tai first told us was, you have been learning whatever traditionally you have been taught, your traditional bandishes and all, but now can we think in a different manner? We are not disobeying something, or you know, jo tradition se aaya hai, it is going to be there. But if you have been learning Tram Tigda Dig Dig Thai bowls in certain way traditionally, every Gharana has its traditional hastak for Tigda Dig Dig or Tram Tigda Dig Dig Thai. What she asked us that I want you to forget that and do a different movement over it. Explore 3 levels, explore all the angles, explore your body, how in different manner you can show Tram Tigda Dig Dig Thai. Also, in Abhinaya, she used to say that why to show sun in the same manner? Can you show your sun? Your sun can be in something different, in different manner. Can you show water or sun or birds or anything? And we started exploring, and then I realized that there was so much block. I couldn't think beyond that typical frame. But then, yes, it was motivating that it opened my doors to think in a different manner. Also, I had the topic Applied Theatre conducted by Anand Chabukswar in my MA years, and that was also very, very inspiring in a way that I have always been a typical sincere student, not going beyond the frame, working in a typical manner. So all these influences helped me to just go with the flow. Just forget about few things, forget about the rules for a while and explore. Explore your body, explore your limits, explore your thoughts. And that was, I think, the first step. When it was my turn to choreograph for MA, we have this topic, so we have to obviously choreograph in the last semester. What I heard once, Shambhavi was talking with somebody on a debate related Guru Shishya Parampara, and she suddenly told that person that when I will see Amruta's choreography, then I will know how much she has studied my choreography or choreographies of other dancers. I will see the influences in her choreography. And suddenly I was like, yeah, I never thought this in this manner. And I felt that, yeah, I have been watching Thai's choreographies or Thai's dance in awe. I have never alertly, with some awareness studied those choreographies. And from that day onwards, instead of just being in awe, I started deliberately studying each and every movement. Why Thai is using this movement? Why this music here? So everything started, connecting in my head. There was a point where I remember that Shambhavi used to start a choreography, and I just used to think that Thai might use this kind of a formation here or this kind of a movement here. And when I used to see her, she used to do the same thing. So I used to feel happy that, yeah, I could connect with the thinking process of Shambhavi. So this was, and she also used to understand that sometimes we both used to end up doing the same movement. So she was also happy. This is like indirectly conveyed that, yeah, you got the thought, you're on the right path. So that was one thing what happened. One more major influence in my life. I, like all other dancers, I have been watching all the choreographies and videos of Aditi Mangal Das ji, and even in Bharatnatyam, Vaibhav Arekar ji, all the senior dancers, even Birju Maharaj ji's choreographies, so many different topics. I have seen his videos over and over, how he has explored it. So there are so many dancers working on it, and even the dancers senior to me, I have observed their choreography. So those influences are there. But a different influence in my life was working with Nritya Dance Institute. They majorly deal with contemporary. And Mayuri Upadhyaya and Madhuri Upadhyaya, I met them and we worked together. I choreographed a Kathak piece for them. But they were choreographing Kathak in Mughal-e-Azam musical play, which was happening at NCP in Mumbai, and I got the opportunity to be a rehearsal director for it. That was the point when I actually saw her thought of choreographing, the way she is using space. I know she has all the contemporary and Western influences as well, but what I could see is in Pune, I think we are not giving justice to space in terms of choreography. Whatever I have been seeing, it is in a typical manner, but exploring space in at some other level, what I saw in her choreography, even the movements, the energy of the dancers, understanding the mood of the piece and how she took all the dancers into that mood, what exercises she was taking with them, preparing the dancer's body and mind for that piece. That is what I saw. And this influence I think I had a little bit from Shambhavi as well, because Shambhavi used to initially brief us or talk about the mood of the choreography, be it traditional, be it any other topic, that she used to take us into that mood first. Feel it inside, the sensitivity towards it, what is its texture, how is its emotionally, how it is going to be, and then give that with your movements and body language. So that I think again this I saw in a different manner with Mayuri when I was working with Mayuri. So that also changed totally my the way I look at choreography. So that was one influence. And I think fortunately I got the opportunity to explore different topics. Initially I was afraid to explore some different topic, I used to just choreograph traditional pieces which are a typical comfort zone. And I think I have Guruji's background, so I have the music sense, the musicality and lay tal aesthetics. I also had the space background, space influences from all these gurus and the choreographies I have been watching, and also Shambhavi training, technique, the aesthetics of our Gharana, which is very important to me, where we find balance in everything, in all the aspects. So merging all this was difficult for me. Keeping the classical choreography in some typical manner and exploring some other topic in a different manner, this was also challenging. So I have been working on it for past so many years. First, when I started working individually, that was when Shambhavi decided to move to US. And we suddenly were so afraid that we had been working under her guidance till then. She used to choreograph, we used to just learn and enjoy the choreography. But suddenly it was like, now where should we go? What should I do now? Shambhavi told that, yeah, you can explore yourself now. Start working independently. Start exploring. And my training with Guruji continued. So it was the first time in Gurukul that he asked me to choreograph a piece. He asked me to choreograph a traditional bandish. And I remember one bandish or one paran I was choreographing for say 2 months or 3 months. I used to choreograph, go in front of him, no, this is wrong. This is not the aesthetic I am talking about. How to look at lay tal, how to look at the structure of the paran. So that is what I started learning there. And again with Shambhavi training, Guruji's aesthetic, I started exploring that. So traditional pieces, how to choreograph, I learned from Shambhavi Manisha and Guruji, and also I am trying to add my newer influences to it. And yeah, that was about the classical choreographies where we have to think about the music and everything. Now I'll come to the topics which are relevant today, which I feel that being a dancer of today's generation, I should be handling these topics and which are relevant to youth. I remember I had choreographed a poem, a Marathi poem, Lakshman Resha. Prabhatai Marathe, she had organized this event where we had been given all the poetry from different poets, and we had to choose one and do a choreography. What I chose was Lakshman Resha. The poem is written by Padma Goleji and it is only of 4 lines. For me, I like to keep the text, narration or the words, limited use of words, and explore more through dance. I hate using narrations in between. If the narration is going to take your choreography ahead, what is the point? You are a dancer, you should be able to explore it through dance and convey it through dance. So what I felt is there are limited words in it and a lot of scope to explore the meaning, to interpret it. So yeah, I tried my hand at that, and it was the lines are Site पुढे ओढली एकच रेषा लक्ष्मणाने, तिने ती ओलांडली आणि झाले रामायण. आमच्या पुढे दाही दिशा लक्ष्मण रेषा ओलांडाव्याच लागतात, रावणांना सामोरं जावंच लागतं. एवढंच की आम्हाला भुई दुभंगून कुशीत घेत नाही. These were the 4 lines where I got an opportunity to compare the life of Sita and today's girl. What I explored in the poem is showing what Sita had to face and what today's girl or woman is facing, in a way that Sita had to just face only one, deal with one Ravan. But today we see that every woman has to face 10 Ravans around. So that is what the poem says, and what we see is Ravana, he abducted her, but he never touched her without her permission. But today we see all the girls, the news coming up, there are so many rapes happening. No one is caring what age that girl is, and she's getting raped. So all this I tried showing in my Kathak medium, through my Kathak medium, and it was an experience which changed me as a choreographer. I think the process was going on for almost over a month. The main thing what I enjoyed was doing the music of this piece. The way I start thinking is, I just read over and over the lines, go through it, or if I have the music already, I just keep listening it day and night and try to get visuals. Also, I keep thinking what I think about the line, how I will like to interpret it, and then start doing visualization, just visualization. How will I show, how would I use the space, how much dancers will I use, what kind of design will be there on stage, all these kinds of things. And what for this piece we had to completely do the music as well. I approached all my batchmates who are again students of Guruji's, the percussion players like Umesh Varbhuvan, the singer Vinay Ramdasan. What I thought that they should be of my age so that they can understand what I want to, they can relate to it and do the music. So what we did, we used to just keep discussing about the topic, and they used to come up with ideas that probably we can use this kind of a sound or this kind of a mood with vocal alap here, some other percussion instrument here. And I used to connect it with it that no, I want this visual. I used to demonstrate just small pieces I had just roughly choreographed on my students. I used to demonstrate that in front of them. Then they used to get the idea, no, this is a different emotion. And what I saw is they also have that sensitivity. They are very good at it. They used to feel what I'm trying to tell them. And then we immediately used to go to the studio and start doing the music. One sound I remember where I had shown that the girl child is, they kill the girl child, and by just drowning her. So what he told me is I can use the sound of ghungroos but dipped in water. So we have explored so many sounds in that piece. One sound he also used, he used a drum in which he used a foil and some grains he had in his hand, and he just dropped the grains over it, and the vibrations and the sound that it was creating, it was heart-wrenching. So I just wanted that feeling of today's girl, the way society has abandoned her, that feeling, and that sound created that for me. So I told him, yeah, we can use this sound here. So this is how, talking about it also is giving me goosebumps right now, because we enjoyed the process so much. This choreography is very close to my heart. So this was one thing. Later I also choreographed on yoga for Yoga Day. The topic was Ratha Kalpana, in which our philosophy, as they have stated in the philosophy, that your senses are the horses, then the lagam or the rope is is in the hands of the intellect, actually, mind, and the heart is in between. Okay, controlling the main, the lagam is the heart, and mind or buddhi is controlling it, and the rath or the chariot, in the chariot is our soul. Chariot is our body, and in the chariot is the soul. So this visual I created, and then I started exploring on that theme. This music also we did in the same manner, just keeping, just meeting, discussing over and over, creating visuals in front of them, and then they used to give ideas of music. So that was something which I explored a little in abstract manner, and abstract in the sense, I explored more in Lay Tal, the yoga choreography, where I thought that I can use polygrooving, multi-grooving techniques, or just one groove and then exploring over it. The way we do it in Lay Tal, that the lehra or the tal is constant, and then we start exploring the freedom over it. So this concept I used in that all the senses together are holding one kind of a rhythmic beat, and then the mind is keeping the heart, in the heart we are feeling it and keeping the lay steady, and then the intellect is exploring over it, improvising over it. So this is what I thought that I will go, and then eventually when all this combines, we go in a trance. That is, we look inside and we go towards the soul, and then connect with the ultimate, which I feel all the senior artists experience on stage when they are exploring, improvising, and they have that connect, they go in that trance. So I wanted to show that. So this was one choreography I explored. One more recent work which I have done is for the Madam Menaka choreography movement, which is a great initiative by Guru Shama Bhate ji. And I have also worked with Shamatai in her choreographies. I have seen her thought, the way she uses the dancers, the lay tal, the space. That was so much inspiring for me. She had done a choreography on Kasturba Gandhi, and the first thing I saw was it was completely abstract. She used to just laugh and say that probably watching this choreography, people would end up saying, okay, where was Kasturba in it? So it was that abstract, but still it was coming out so beautifully. So that was one experience I wanted to share, that I have worked with her also. But yeah, when this opportunity came, I thought of applying and I got selected. It is a proverb based choreography in which you have to select a proverb and explore it. I was searching I searched for many proverbs. I came across a lot, but then one of my students, Aditi, she is doing her masters in English literature, and she has a notebook where she even if she likes a quote or a proverb, she just notes it down, and she handed it over to me, and she said that if you can find anything in this, and I read a line in that, written by the great writer Haruki Murakami, that even if you managed to come out of one cage, aren't you in just another larger one? This was the line, but it wasn't a proverb. It was just a line in his book, 1Q84. And I hadn't read the book as well. I immediately started reading the book. And then I asked Shamate that I want to explore this line. Can you give me the permission? I just don't want to select a proverb, but I will treat this as a proverb and explore it. I totally related, it was so relatable, I related to it, so I wanted to explore it. So she said, yeah, you can do that. And then I started reading. I read 1Q84, in what reference it was used in that book. And then I again went back to Gita. I read Gita. I started exploring what is cage for me. Cage, outer cages we know that in the society, in the outer world, we feel when we are born, we are completely without any bondings and we don't have any bonds. But slowly we start creating bonds, and we start connecting with people, and then the cages start becoming bigger and bigger. We start exploring them. Once we start feeling that we are in a cage because something is not happening what we wanted, and then we want to rescue ourselves from that because something else is attractive and we feel that this cage is different, I want to go and explore that one. But when we actually go there, we see that no, again this cage is different, but still I'm not comfortable in it. So this is the outer world, which is never ending. You'll keep changing that. But then I thought that we should go to the inner world. Where the problem is actually? Why do we feel that we are in a cage? Because the cages are inside us. Actually, the brain, in our mind, we are not steady. We don't know what exactly we want, and that all the complication is inside us. So I wanted to explore that, the outer world cages and the inner world cages, and can we ever get out of them? No, because this cycle is ever, it's an ongoing process. You are born here on earth to experience this. So I wanted to explore this through my choreography. So then I started creating visuals with my students in class. Again, the music process was the same. I talked with the musicians and how I want the music to be done. The multiple cages of outer worlds, I used polygrooving techniques in that. I felt that one groove comes, and when the second groove is introduced, there was a shift. I go from one groove to other groove, and slowly all the cages start mixing up, overlapping each other, and the polygrooves, polyrhythms start building up, where there are so many connections she's making and she just wants to run away from them. And then she shuts the outer world. When she shuts, she secludes herself. She still feels that, still I'm not calm. I don't have peace. I have shut the outer world. What is it that is disturbing me? I thought of using lights here, where I asked him to give me a white spot, white light, beam of light, which she finds that I think I want this. This is peace. This is happiness. I want to go towards it. When she starts running there, she is locked in a maze. The dancers, I moved them in such a way that they formed a maze. And she's searching her way towards it. Finally, when she goes to the light, it disappears. So she is trying to find where is peace and what is this maze? Why is it blocking me? Then she realizes that this is my inner world. When we close our eyes, we really fear, most of the times it happens. So it used to happen that I used to fear closing my eyes because a lot of things used to come up, and the confusions and the dilemmas, everything. So then she realizes that this is the cage of my thoughts. It is a cage of my emotions and all the confusions. And I need to clear this. She is angry that this is not letting me, open up or find peace. But when she starts breaking that maze with force, it starts getting more and more complicated and complex. So you cannot break these cages with force. You really need to meditate, need to calm down yourself, think over it, and then slowly dissolve these cages. That is what she does. And she feels that, can I form a cage of my own choice, which is more spacious, where I can explore my freedom? So there I thought of using a lehra, a nagma of Indian classical music, which gives us the frame, but we can, staying in it, we can explore freedom through laikari. And one more element in Kathak, that is thought, which is similar to this thought, that keeping in tal, you explore your freedom in thought. So I felt of taking thought here. I gave a groove to all the girls who are my cage now, beautifully designed cage for myself, and I started exploring my thought freely. But can this be constant? Still, this can be momentary, that I feel that I'm free of these cages. But soon, I think everything comes back. That is life. So this was the choreography I wanted to explore, this proverb. And the process changed me as a person, as a choreographer, and I think I tried my best doing it. The music, the sounds which I used in it, the costumes I gave all the dancers grey color, the shades of grey, which I feel that this world is grey. And for me, I took a costume of color orange, rust orange and yellow, which is a ray of hope, which is a color of meditation, enlightenment, and it also suggests a flame, which I feel is your mind and heart, which is continuously wavering with the winds, the outer factors, but you really need to steady that. Just stop all the chaos around you and seclude yourself from that and find peace. So that is what I wanted to explore, and I also used makeup. In makeup also, I feel that you can do some suggestive things, like I asked the girls to draw a maze with black on their half forehead. Half the girls were doing it on their right, and half of them had done it on the left. That is, the confusion between the left and the right brain, and the conflict between them, the creative part and the discipline part. All that I wanted to show. That is us. All the cages which are creating, they are created by us, and we only need to just dissolve them. So that was the work. This is my recent work, and I would really love to explore newer topics which are relevant today. And I think I explored my medium of Kathak in a different manner by doing this choreography, staying in the Kathak aesthetics. I think I can add more movements to it, but which are obviously Kathak in choreography. So I think, yeah, that is it. And I think I'm working towards preparing my dancers for choreography. I feel that if dancers are going to be your tools, if the dancer has limitations, then whatever you want to portray will not be portrayed in a right manner. So I think the dancers' bodies should be prepared for that. So just fitness of the dancers, then exploring the technique, being perfect in the technique, exploring the limits of the bodies is what I am focusing on. And I think I will soon start choreographing, forming a dance company and choreographing newer pieces. Thank you.